What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Commander Rio Robinson checking in with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd, meaning we are 4 days away from the Commanders preseason finale up north. Our Beltway brothers, the Baltimore Ravens, who are coming in with a 22-game preseason winning streak. The preseason dynasty, if you will. You know, that type of thing doesn't exist, but apparently the Ravens take preseason very seriously, and their depth has always been on another level there. But today's Tuesday, 23rd. We're 19 days away from NFL kickoff Sunday, where the Jacksonville Jaguars come down to FedEx Field, and we get to see what this team is really about. No more preseason fluff, Manila offenses. We're talking the real thing, baby. I'm talking a new and improved Trevor Lawrence, a revamped defense over there, that front line, Foley, Fadakowski, Arden Key, Josh Allen, Trevon Walker, the linebacker core with Foley Aloakum, Chad Muma, Devin Lloyd. They got some pieces over there, but we're not talking about them today. We're going to talk about them when we get to our week 1 preview, when I got UFC Jaguar coming on the show to give me a full top to bottom roster breakdown and game preview of our week 1 matchup. Today's episode, we're going to talk about offense, because a lot of folks may not agree, but I think the 2022 Washington Commanders are going to be an offense-first football team. I think the strength, the soul, and the heartbeat of this team will be on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But this episode, like all episodes, are brought to you by @Washington on the Daily, top right on the overlay, @WSH on the Daily on Instagram. Give them a follow. Giveaways, breaking news, the whole nine. They're the best follow for all things Washington Commanders football on the IG platform. And if you're going to do your betting with BetUS Sportsbook and Casino using my unique link and code in the description. Code JOIN125 upon your first deposit. But before we get to the offense, though, let's say happy birthday to a legend on the field, off the field, and in the booth. Mr. SONNY JURGENSON, 88th birthday today, and to commemorate his 88th birthday, the franchise is finally doing right by him. They have decided that this year his number 9 will be retired, put in the rafters at FedEx Field, and you love to see it. You know, for 22 years of owning this organization, Dan Snyder's always done this thing where he's had a handshake agreement with the equipment staff. Don't give these numbers of these players away. Don't let this number be had. This number can be worn if they ask the player, instead of just professionally handling the situation and taking care of our legends and just retiring numbers. And that's why the Malcolm Floyds and these bum-ass players that come here and there get past Doug Williams' number. I've seen guys wear Gary Clark's number and all-time Joe Jacoby's number. We just keep passing these legends' numbers to Jags year after year. And it took Ron and Jason and company to come in and then finally start doing things correctly as an organization. And they decided to hang up good old Sonny's number 9 jersey, legend, in the booth, on the field. Not like I was alive to see it, but I know the history. And what he did for this franchise perfectly correlates and segues into our topic today, because Sonny is the last quarterback that this franchise has ever seen throw 30 touchdowns in a season. It's very perplexing and a befuddling stat, considering that we're in 2022 And I've seen about 39 starting quarterbacks in my lifetime as a fan. The last quarterback we had throw for 30 touchdowns in a season was SONNY Jurgenson. When football was still in black and white, I imagine wearing leather helmets that don't protect you, trash pads. There was no such thing as 720p, colorless TV games. That was the last time we had a quarterback throw for 30 touchdowns. And that ends in 2022 when Carson Wentz leads the revamped Washington Commanders offense to be our stronger unit of the two. Now, we've spent a half a decade now building this defense, putting these first-round picks all around. We have 7 first-round picks on our defense. 7. 4 on the front line. One that we took with the 19th pick of the draft last year. William Jackson was a first-round pick. There's first-round picks to go around in every room of this defense. Somehow, they've regressed, but we're not talking about the defense today. I got a whole different video for you for the defense. We're talking about the offense, the revamped, retooled, and healthy version of the offense. For those that take heed and hesitance to accept and fully embrace our quarterback, let me tell you something. Carson Wentz is easily the most talented, consistent, and more than adequate quarterback we've had in quite some time. You guys will appreciate his skill set very soon. I do not get into training camp statistics, nor do I get into practice, preseason, fake exhibition game statistics. But I mean, in 5 possessions, 16 for 22, 140 yards, no touchdowns. He led a scoring drive for a touchdown. Another should have been scoring drive, but he took a sack on 3rd down, not hitting his check down, which was his 3rd read to Antonio Gibson on the sack that he took last week. But if you're already gauging and jumping off the Wentz bandwagon over some preseason exhibition games, bless your heart, watch more football. I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you, because this offense is going to be significantly better. Looking at a guy like Curtis Samuel, an absolute X factor of this offense that we can line up in a multitude of places, on the inside, on the outside, running jet sweeps out of the backfield, bunch formation. He's all over the place. He looks healthy, and him and Carson have a clear rapport. For those upset that Carson took a shot to him on 3rd and short in a preseason game down the field, what that shows me is that he has trust in the receiver, and there's a rapport built. I'm going to give my guy a chance, even if he is a 5'9", utility speed type receiver. I'm going to give my guy a chance in a fake game to go up and get it while he works his way back in the game shape. We already know what Terry McLaurin is. Best wide receiver in the division, and it's not close. It's not up for debate. It's not up for conversation. And don't let that stupid-ass top 100 players countdown list tell you anything different. CD Lamb, A.J. Brown, nothing on the Giants compares. It's not a competition. The numbers speak for themselves. The guy produces no matter if I step out on the field as his quarterback. Jahan Dotson, wild card. Rookie, we took it with the 16th pick of the draft. Y'all saw me on draft night. I wanted a Buckeye. I wanted Garrett Wilson or Olave. Shit, I even wanted Jameson Williams, who could also count as a Buckeye because he went there before transferring to Alabama, but he was coming off an injury. But trading back and taking Jahan Dotson, I'll eat my crow because the guys looked every bit of the part. It looks like a 1B, 1A situation at receiver rather than that we drafted a 2 in the first round. And what we should do as fans is we should expect him to be Terry McLaurin good, because we took McLaurin with no expectations in the 3rd round of the draft. We took Jahan Dotson with a premium pick, a top 20 pick in the 1st round. So at minimum, he needs to be as good as Terry McLaurin. And it isn't about, oh no, you guys want to run Terry out the door. You guys want to call another guy better than Terry. No, that's a good problem to have. An influx logjam of talent at one position is a great problem to have. I want 2 number 1 receivers. I don't care about feelings and, oh, but what if this guy feels slighted if this guy's, but man, fuck all that. This is football. This is a grown man's game. We don't have time for that shit. We want talent at the position. And we have it. This is the best wide receiver trio we've had since Crowder, Garcon, and Jackson. And I think this group can be better because they're more all-around better receivers. They all had a skill set. Crowder was the get in between the zone third down guy who could stretch the field some. Deshaun Jackson, home run hitter, vertical threat, screen pass guy. Garcon, the dog, go across the middle, nasty, slant route god. These guys are a little more versatile, and they're younger, they're hungry, and they have a talented rifle of an arm quarterback who has the biggest chip in the world on his shoulder to prove to guys that y'all got him completely fucked up in the media, in the fan base, and league-wide. Y'all got Carson completely fucked up. Y'all talk about that man like he's Blake Bortles or some shit when Carson Wentz is one of the more productive quarterbacks in the league. He's literally had one bad season in his career, and it was the COVID year that they decided to stop blocking for him and had him throwing to Justin Fields' receiver group of insurance salesmen in Chicago. That's who he was throwing to that year. But yes, he had a bad year that year. That's the only year where he was a pick machine. I hear all this, oh, he's an interception machine. He's not. He's a 7-pick-a-year guy, which shows me that a lot of y'all don't pay attention. Pay attention. Go back and watch the tape. I'm not saying we're getting 2017 wins, but I am saying that this is the best assortment of weapons that this man has ever played with, and it's not even close. He had a great running back last year in Indianapolis. On paper, a great offensive line, but COVID and injuries absolutely depleted it. And Quentin Nelson and company, they were 30th in the league in pass protection last year. Man still threw for 3,800, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks, and what folks will call a not great year. Those numbers take this team to the playoffs last year. So talk to me nice. Remember how I told you Sonny was the last quarterback to throw for 30 touchdowns here? Kirk came close a couple times. He gave us 4,900 yards, 29 touchdowns. Carson is breaking the curse. 30-plus touchdown. I got Carson sitting at 4,100 yards and 31 touchdowns on the season through the air. He may get a couple on some quarterback sneaks too, because that comes easy for him. He's 6'5", 240, just lay in the end zone. So I'm saying around 33 total touchdowns, 31 through the air. That breaks this year, and this offense is the reason why this team makes the playoff. I'm not deterred over these preseason games. I've seen enough in practice. Oh, but it's practice. These games are practice. They put more game planning into a training camp session than they do into these preseason games. They don't have a script. They're not game planning for the games. A few hiccups have stopped a couple drives that the offense is going, but the ball is moved and matriculated up the field each time. I'm not worried at all about the offense. Like I said, the defense, we're going to talk about them in another video, but the offense, let's talk about the running back room. Antonio Gibson may be his best self now that we're going to find his ideal role, which is RB2 / scat back / returner / get him out in space. J.D. McKissic's job is solidified. Third down utility back, shotgun run demon, get him in the open field. And we have the first and second down bruiser who also can catch the ball. Has the body, the grit, and just the tenacity to take a full workload in our rookie running back that we took out of Alabama. A first-round pick and a third-round pick on the offense, both skill position players, Jahan Dotson and Brian Robinson Jr. Last year, a second-round pick, Sam Cosmi, who I believe is the best lineman on the team, and that's not a slight or disrespect to anyone. The guy had some injury issues his rookie year, but when he was on the field, best lineman we have by far, him and Leno holding down the two sides. Our center is an absolute beast. Got to keep him healthy. Chase Rouillet. Andrew Norwell is mauling dudes, putting dudes in the ground like the Undertaker on the left side of the line. The only real question mark of the offense right now is right guard, because Trey Turner, we haven't seen much or any of him through the preseason. So the nimble dancing bear known as Wes Schweitzer, who's an absolute dog, he could very well be getting the starting nod, and I am okay with that. I don't think the drop-off from Brandon Sheriff to what we have on our offensive line is that much. And for some of you, you're going to say, whoa, Rio, you're reaching. I thought Brandon Sheriff, when available, was a really good guard. Never thought he was elite. Yes, he did make an all-pro. There was definitely semantics and there's context to that, but I don't think we're going to hurt that much by losing Brandon Sheriff. The Jags are going to love him for 11 games a year. Best of luck to you. But the tight end room, we have a mix of talent there. I'm not even going to start with tight end one, but Cole Turner, vertical, pass catching threat. John Bates, traditional hand in the dirt, block him, but can catch and has more wiggle than we thought guy. Armani Rogers, converting from quarterback to tight end, has shown a lot because he's been forced into the fire this preseason to get more reps with the ones than we ever expected. But the tight end that puts it all together, who was activated off the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list yesterday, Mr. Logan Thomas, he's just like this beef stew of all the other tight ends in the room thrown into one pot. He can block, he can route you up, he can catch, he can high point the football. He brings it all together, and we know Carson loves his tight ends, so expect to see Logan Thomas early and often. And for fantasy people out there, Logan is definitely a name you want to pay attention to. You know, hopefully he gets that big stone cold, bulky-ass knee brace off at some point, but if he has to play with it, so be it. And I cannot wait to see the on-field tutelage of Cole Turner from Logan Thomas. And when we get in that red zone and we see these two tight end sets with those guys on the field, oh man, the things that we can do. Y'all are like, oh, Scott's play calling is dull. Y'all want him to get in his bag in a preseason game for real? I've been out to plenty of practices. They're not running that shit they're running in practices in the game. There are a lot of bunch, option, RPO, tricky, sexy shit happening in those practices. They're not running that shit in a game in August in front of 10,000 people. So I'm telling you, listen to me. Rio Stradamus is calling it right now. The offense will be the strength of the Washington Commanders in 2022. Carson Wentz will break the curse of 30 touchdowns not happening here that we have not had in 55 years since SONNY Jurgenson. And our wide receiving core, shit, throw in the tight ends too. This is the best group of pass catchers and skill players we've had in the Daniel Snyder era of football. If I'm wrong, I will eat my crow. I will come on this shit and say I look like a fucking buffoon right now. But I believe it. Do not be deterred by what you see in these preseason games. Shit, let Wentz go out and run a series versus the Ravens. One sustained drive, get them off the field. That defense, on the other hand, y'all can go play the first half, 2 quarters. But like I said, defensive video coming soon. You don't want to go too hard versus the Ravens in preseason because they take the preseason seriously. These motherfuckers haven't lost a preseason game in 7 years, which is absolute absurd to me. But that's all I got for right now. Checking out. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Take command. Like, comment, and subscribe. We are 327 subscribers away from hitting 5,000 subs on the channel. And it's thanks to you guys and all the support that you guys show. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you want Washington Commanders content unfiltered with an edge and where we do it fun, tell them to come holler at Rio's channel. Until next time, deuces.